Welcome everyone. So in today's video we shall learn about two things. First one is Newton's third law of motion, and second we shall learn about law of conservation of momentum. So both the topics are very important and this video is for class 9. Let's start. Okay, so first topic is Newton's third law of motion. So student, we have already completed the two laws of motion. Now we will learn about third law of motion. So let's start. In nature, force cannot act alone. Alright, and force is a reciprocal action between two objects. That means when two objects come in contact, the force is a reciprocal action between these two objects, and forces are always applied in pairs. When one object applies a force on another object, the latter object also simultaneously applies a force on the former object. So forces are always applied in pairs. The forces between two objects are always equal and opposite, and this idea is expressed in Newton's third law of motion. And the force applied by the first object is called action force, while the force applied by the second object on the first is called reaction force. So in a previous slide we have seen that force are always acts in a pair. Okay, that means when one object will apply a force, second object will also give a force to first object. Okay, so that's why forces are always applied in force, and the force which is applied by the first object is called as action force, while the force applied by the second object on the first object is called as reaction force. All right, so on a screen you can observe one picture in which we can see a nail is hammering. Okay, when we are hammering a nail, what happened? The two equal and opposite forces are applied. Okay, so the force which is applied by the hammer on the nail, this is called as a action force on the nail. Okay, and the nail also give a reaction force on the hammer. So this is how the equal and opposite forces act in a pair. This is the action force and reaction force on the hammer. Now we shall see Newton's third law of motion. So this is the third law of motion, that is, it states that every action force has an equal and opposite reaction force which acts simultaneously. That means the action force has an equal and opposite reaction force. Okay, and these two forces, that means action force and reaction force, acts simultaneously on the object. All right. So here again you can observe one picture in which we can see that action force. What is the action force? When the boy's feet exerts force on the boat, and reaction force, it is boat exerts the force on the feet. All right. So this is a action and reaction force which act simultaneously. Now always remember, action and reaction are termed as express forces. Okay, and these forces act always in pairs. One force cannot exist by itself. Two forces should be there. Action and reaction forces act simultaneously. Alright, and action and reaction forces act on different objects. They do not act on the same object and hence cannot cancel each other's effect. So this was all about Newton's third law of motion, which was very easy. This is every action force has an equal and opposite reaction force which acts simultaneously. Okay, now we shall move to our next topic, that is law of conservation of momentum. First of all, what is a momentum? It is a product of mass and velocity of an object. Okay, law of conservation of momentum. So what is this law? So law of conservation of momentum states that when two bodies collide with each other in the absence of an external force, then the total final momentum of the bodies is equal to their total initial momentum. That means when two objects or two bodies, they will collide or they will come in contact, or the interaction between two bodies will happen in the absence of any external force. That means there is no external force applied on the object, okay, just they are colliding to each other. Okay, then what happened? Then the total final momentum, okay, final momentum of the body will be equal to their initial momentum. So this was law of conservation of momentum. Alright student, so let's understand this law by a simple derivation. Suppose an object has object A, okay, so this is orange one is object A, and this one has mass m1 and its initial velocity is u1. Alright, you can observe in the picture. While an object B has a mass m2 and its initial velocity will be u2. Alright, okay, object A has mass m1 and initial velocity will be u1, okay, and object B has mass m2 and its initial velocity will be u2. And according to the formula of momentum, now what is the formula of momentum? It is the product of mass and velocity, that is mv. Okay, so this is the formula of momentum. So the initial momentum of A, according to the formula, the initial momentum of object A will be m1 and m1 into u1, because the mass is m1 and velocity is u1. And before collision, okay, this is before collision, that means these two objects are not coming in contact till now. In initial momentum of object B will be same, that means here it will be only m2 and its initial velocity will be u2. Now next we have to see at collision, that means this is a condition when two objects will come in contact with each other or they will collide. Okay, and in previous slide we have seen when before the momentum before collision. Alright, so suppose these two objects, this is object A with mass m1 and object B with mass m2. Okay, now suppose these two objects collide, that means they will come in contact with each other or interact with each other. So let the force on object A due to B be F1, that means force acting between force will be there between these two objects is F1, and this force will cause acceleration in object A, and its velocity will become v1. All right, and therefore their momentum of object A after collision, okay, after collision will be m1 multiplied by v1. Its velocity, that final velocity. Okay, so it will be v1. Okay, now this is condition after the collision. Now after collision, the final velocity will become v1, and an object B final velocity will be v2. Okay, so according to the third law of motion, Newton's third law of motion, object A also exerts an equal force on object B, but it will be in opposite direction. Okay, just now we have seen every action force has an equal and opposite reaction force. So this will cause a change in momentum of object B, and if its velocity after collision is v2, the momentum, okay, after the collision velocity will be v2. So the momentum of object B after the collision, it will be m2 multiplied by v2, and if F2 is the force that acts on the object B, the forces will be F2 of object B is equals to minus F1. Why here it is minus? Because every we have seen now, according to the Newton's third law of motion, every forces are always equal and opposite direction. That's why here minus. Now next is F2 is equals to minus F1. Therefore the force of second object B, it will be force is mass into acceleration. Okay, so object B, it will be m2 multiplied by a2, and which is equals to minus. Now here minus will come, okay, because this is opposite force. So force of object 1 will be m1 into a1, because force is nothing but mass into acceleration. Okay, now next step here, given that therefore m2 is into, now in the place of a2 we can write v2 minus u2 upon t, and for this you can refer my previous video. Okay, which is equals to minus m1. Now acceleration of first object will be v1 minus u1 upon t. Why? Because here we can see acceleration is equals to initial velocity, sorry, final velocity minus initial velocity upon time. So here in this step we can cancel t and t. Okay, so in next step we have only m2 multiplied by into bracket v2 minus u2, which is equals to minus m1 multiplied by v1 minus u1. Okay, now therefore next step what we have done here, we just we have to open the bracket, that is we will multiply m2 with v2 and m2 with u2. So next step is so simple. Now is equals to here minus m1 v1 plus, okay, minus minus will get plus, so the sign will change here. Now next step we have what we have done, we have just rearranged the terms, that is m2 v2 plus we will take minus m1 v1 to the RHS, so minus will become plus, and here also when m2 u2 will go to the RHS, it will become minus to plus. So the magnitude of total final momentum is equals to the magnitude of total initial momentum, and this is only our law of conservation of momentum, that is after the collision the magnitude of total final momentum of an object will be equal to the magnitude of total initial momentum. And thus if no external force is acting on two objects, then the total initial momentum is equal to their total final momentum, and this statement is true for any number of objects. When no external force acts on two interacting objects, their total momentum remains constant, it does not change, and this is a corollary to Newton's third law of motion, and the momentum is unchanged. Okay, so the momentum will be unchanged after the collision, and the momentum gets redistributed between the colliding objects, and the momentum of one of the object decreases while that of the other increases, and that's why here it is there that it is redistributing between the two colliding objects. When two objects collide, okay, when two objects will collide, it means they will come in contact with each other, what happens, the total momentum before collision is equal to the total momentum after collision. And student, in order to understand this principle, let us consider the example of a bullet fired from a gun. Now when a bullet of mass m1 is fired from a gun of mass m2, its velocity will be v1. Okay, that means it is final velocity at of a gun, of a bullet, and its momentum becomes m1 v1, and before firing the bullet, both the gun and the bullet are at rest position, and hence the total initial momentum will be 0. All right, and according to the above law, the total final momentum also has to be 0, and thus the forward moving bullet causes the gun to move backward after firing. You can observe the second alongside picture how the gun is moving backward after firing. Okay, so this backward motion of the gun is called as recoil, and the velocity of recoil v2 is such that m1 v1 plus m2 u2 will be equal to 0, or we can write it as just here the both are the same, just we are rearranging the term. Here v2 will be equal to minus m1 multiplied upon m2 multiplied by v1. So student, here just one mistake is there, instead of v2 u2 will come. Okay, so this is the law of conservation of momentum, and student, I hope you all have understood this law of conservation of momentum and Newton's third law of motion. And student, here we have finished our first chapter of class 9, that is law of motion. Thank you.